Hi guys, so this is my first vlog post. Can't quite believe it. I'm actually doing it. I'm coming on today to talk about something that I'm pretty passionate about, and I've gone through ups and downs with it. I've changed my opinion on it numerous times, and that is body image and social media. So this is the biggest can of worms that you can possibly open, to be honest. I think when you listen or read posts on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and all of these, everyone has an opinion, everyone has a view. And I even asked you guys, just out of curiosity, about this topic before I recorded this vlog, and I got so many different opinions from all of you. It was amazing. So I'm coming on here to share how I feel about it, because I do think it's a topic that is really important to speak about. And my view is a fairly mixed one, and it is my personal opinion. So it is something that you may not agree with, and that's fine. We all have our own opinions. I don't expect everyone to agree with me, but it is something that I want to share anyway. My opinion is, it is bad, but it's also not social media's fault. So hear me out, okay? Hear me out. Social media is a double-edged sword in many respects, in the fact that it is an amazing tool. It's an amazing thing that can connect us with people all across the world, can share news in less than a second, it can inspire, it can make us aware of things that we would have never seen. But it can also evoke a lot of negative thoughts, and it can evoke a lot of insecurities and a lot of comparisons, and it can make us feel shit. To put it bluntly, it can make us feel really, really shit. But is this social media's fault, or is it just social media triggering things within ourselves that we have yet to deal with? That is the question. So I'm talking about this from a personal place as well. When I first came to social media, I was very much not in the same mindset that I am now. I was very insecure. I've struggled with an eating disorder for about 4 years in my late teens and early 20s. I was coming out of a place of real mental insecurity, physical insecurity. And when I first joined social media, I very much went down the rabbit hole of comparison. It really made me feel like I was inadequate in the way that I was back then, and it pushed me to try and alter myself or my practice or whatever I was doing. When looking at that now from the place I am right now, I see that that isn't necessarily social media's fault. It's actually me being triggered by those posts. Let me say it like this. You scroll down your Instagram feed, your Twitter feed, your Facebook feed, you go onto Google and you look on Huffington Post, or you just look on any post on Google, to be honest, and you will see hundreds of thousands of millions of videos, pictures. At least half of those images or videos you will dismiss for shit or for something that you don't really interest. And a percentage of those videos will trigger you in a positive or a negative way. Whether that is they'll make you laugh, or they might make you cry, or they will have some form of effect on you. Now that effect is down to us. How we let those images affect us is our responsibility, because we are in control of our emotions, not them. So we can be triggered on an unconscious level, and that is when we are out of control. But then it is our responsibility to become conscious in those moments and not allow that to happen. Now this is way easier said than done, and trust me, I am not able to do it all the time. But by becoming more aware of my triggers, it has helped me become less affected by certain posts on Instagram or on social media or on Twitter. So things that I've done that I wanted to share with you guys around this topic is, I note when I get emotionally affected. So for me at the time, it was my body, and it was my practice. I would find myself reading things or looking at images that would affect me, I would stop and I would think why I was getting affected. What is happening here? And I would write it down, or I'd make a note of it, or I'd make a conscious thought. Even if in that moment I didn't know, I'd make a conscious thought to consider it. Now what that slowly did is it made me more aware of the content I was looking at, and it also made me more aware of how I was being affected by the content. If there was anyone that was coming up on my feed that was posting constant images that really affected me negatively, I would unfollow them. I would stop looking at it, because you know what, it isn't helpful. But, and this is the important thing, I wouldn't just do that. What I would do is I would start to look at why I was affected by that thing, to look at the actual issue of why I was being affected in that way. What was triggering me in that post? And why was I feeling that way? That's the bit that people don't want to do, because it means that, and I'm going to be honest, and people might hate me for saying this, but it means you have to do work. You have to do emotional work. You have to look at your shit. And it's hard and it's horrible. The long down process, actually understanding our insecurities and our emotional insecurities and our physical insecurities, is hard. It is. But it was only when I started to do that, that then when I was looking at all of this content that was previously making me feel crap, suddenly I wasn't affected by it. Before I would look at someone in a bikini without any cellulite and I would become super insecure of my own cellulite. Now, I look at someone in that photo and I go, wow, that's amazing, cool. She has amazing genes, which means she doesn't have cellulite. But I don't care, because the fact that I have cellulite, that doesn't make me any worse, you know? This is the main thing for me with social media, is started to deal, or am still dealing with, my own stuff, so that when I look at content, there's not, I can differentiate between whether it is my own issues or whether it's just a piece of shit content. And if it's shit content, you know what I do? I ignore it. Remember that everyone has bad days. What we forget about social media is that we see all of these perfect images and we forget that that is 2% of the time. You know, you have all of these amazing models that have incredible bodies. Well, they've been dieting probably for a couple of days before that, or they've done pre-shoot cleanses. And as soon as I realized that, and as soon as I remembered that, it made me feel a bit better about the fact that, you know what, I eat food and I get bloated, or you know what, I get bags under my eyes when I haven't slept very well. That realization that, you know what, that is not reality, but just a small percentage of reality, really has helped. So that's also something that I would say is quite useful to remember. You're not all perfect. Social media or Instagram posts, they are this much of real life. Some of the things that I've done that have been quite helpful is A, unfollow people that trigger you. Just do it. You don't want to be bombarded with posts that make you feel bad about yourself. If it's making you feel insecure, find that someone posting something that is not necessarily all that bad, but is making you feel insecure about yourself, look at why and explore that journey. Social media has got bad points, and yes, it does deserve to be demonized in some ways, but it also isn't solely to blame. And I think we as people have to take responsibility for what our part within the issue. And that is dealing with our own stuff and with our own triggers, so that those things that come up on social media don't affect us. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear a little bit more. This is just me sharing my own personal thoughts. So again, if you disagree, absolutely cool, I don't mind. It's an open forum. And, oh wait, someone's come to join, just jumping on. I hope you enjoyed listening.